In my opinion, there are about 4 or 5 things which are extremely important. The first one is the need for preparation and having multiple options when you go for a negotiation. A lot of people get locked into positions, and sometimes you don't have enough information in the beginning of a negotiation to take a locked position. So the more flexible you are in a negotiation and the more options you develop in a negotiation, the better you will be to create a win-win situation, because you might get more than you expected. Others might also get a lot of value out of that negotiation because they are also learning from it. So the very first thing is do a lot of preparation and have multiple options in a negotiation. The second point is a lot of people think negotiation is haggling. It's not. You go to a shop and he says 100 rupees, you say 20 rupees, and somewhere at 30 rupees or 40 rupees you close a deal. That's not negotiations, that's haggling. When it comes to negotiations, there is a value exchange. Why are you negotiating with somebody? Because there is something that you need from that person. And why is that person negotiating with you? Because there is something that person needs from you. Otherwise, there is no negotiation. So the important thing is to recognize those exact needs, which sometimes you don't know when you start. So through the process of negotiation, through an active process of listening, understanding, and exploring options, you can sometimes come to fantastic solutions where both get what they want, and that relationship is also sustained at the end. The third point is very interesting, because a lot of people leave money on the table after the negotiations. Nobody in the world has ever given anybody more than what they asked for. That's an important one to remember, because when you go into a negotiation, if you are taking the first position or you are making the first offer, you are setting the scene. And there is a whole load of theory about whether you should go first or you should get somebody else to do, because I'm not going in there. But all I'm saying is, when you make a demand, make sure that's a reasonable and fair demand, because you're not going to get more than that. A lot of people think that we can pitch in low and then start negotiating higher. It's difficult, much more difficult than pitching higher and negotiating lower. So don't leave money on the table. To make sure that your initial going in position is really what you would like to have. The fourth point is negotiations are dynamic processes. The fact that I was successful in a negotiation yesterday means nothing. Today is another day, today is another negotiation, it's another person, it's another issue, it's another subject, another dynamics. So continuously learning, continuously adapting, continuously understanding the other party, trying to understand the styles of negotiation that the other people are employing is critical to the success of negotiations. So the biggest blunder is to go in saying I've been successful in the last 5 negotiations, so I can just walk in, no preparation, I get what I want. You could have nasty surprises. So along with preparation, it's also important to be open and fresh in every negotiation, with that eyes of wonder to start looking at what's coming in new, understand it, learn it, and then work with the data that you have in the room. And that may be very different from what was in the room yesterday. And the fifth one is, a lot of people I find, they don't know when to stop a negotiation. We have our set points, and it's very important for you to know what is the point at which I'll walk away. There are points below which I will not sell a product. There are conditions below which I will not accept. And one is not clear about it, we haven't given enough thought to it and looked at alternatives. If this negotiation fails, what are my other options? If you have not done that, the negotiation goes on, and at the end of the day you walk out without knowing whether you really got what you wanted. So setting those points at which you will happily walk away saying, thank you very much, it's been nice knowing you, this doesn't work for me. Having that point in mind, very clearly established before you go into a negotiation, is extremely important. That's the fifth thing I would say. So those are probably the 5 things that come to the top of my mind, and they are very important ones and often missed. Thank you.